Welcome to this colour mixing adventure. It's Michelle Walker here. And what you see is I'm laying out the three primaries, yellow, red and blue, on a notepad. And these are the colours that I'm using. It's a Derivan brand of student acrylics. So I'm using a stock card for the painting of the colour wheel and just painting out the first of the three colours on our colour wheel, which is yellow, red and blue, straight out of the tube. So there's some consistency and some pigmentation variations that you'll find with each of these three primary colours. So placing a small amount of each of the primaries beside each other, and I'm now going to mix the secondary colours. So yellow and blue makes green, and you'll see that depending on how strong the blue is, you might need to add more yellow to get a medium tone green. So you can see I had to use a fair bit of yellow to get a reasonably dark green. Now I'm adding a lot of yellow to a little bit of red to get orange, which is our secondary colour. And the blue and the red together make purple. And I made a bit of a mistake when I first started because I used the blue paintbrush and that was too strong and overpowering on the red. You'll find this is different for each of the brands of colours that you get, and it'll depend on the brand that you'll have to have a bit of a play around to see how strong the pigments are against each other. So in this particular brand, the red is much lighter, the blue much more powerful. So that's our three primary colours, red, yellow and blue, and our three secondary colours, which we just mixed, green, orange and purple. So now we get to mix our tertiary colours. So that's mixing primary with a secondary. So the first one I'm mixing is yellow with the orange, gives us a yellow-orange. And the great thing about learning to mix colours is that we can really play around with the shades and the tones that we get rather than relying on something that just comes straight out of a tube. So taking a bit of the green, adding a fair bit of yellow to it, and then adding a bit more yellow so that I can get a really nice midway lime green. It's really called yellow green, but I think of it as quite a limey colour. And in some brands that would be called a green gold, which I quite love. So it is really a lot of fun to get practiced at mixing the secondary and the tertiary colours in your painting. It will open up a world of possibilities to you. So now taking green with a little bit of blue, knowing that the blue is quite a potent colour. In that case it looked too much like a dark green, so I wanted to put it closer to the blue, and this will be called a blue-green. These are some of my favourite colours, like all the turquoises and teals. If you add a bit of white to this, you could end up with a mid-tone turquoise teal. Beautiful range of colours. So taking the blue now and adding our purple or violet into the mix. And this will give us a blue-violet. Sometimes think of that as an indigo. Beautiful strong colour, looks fantastic as a sky or a deep ocean. Now taking the purple violet and adding some red, gives us a red violet, which is that beautiful maroony, plummy colour. It's a really warm purple. So now I want to mix the orange with the red. And I start by thinking I'll use the brush that I've made the red violet out of it, but realise that that's just going to get me into trouble because it's got too much blue in it and it will give me an unclear colour. So grabbing a new brush, taking some of that orange, and then realise it's got a little bit of green on it, so then I grab the one that I used to make the yellow orange, just mixing up a bit more orange to start with, and then adding a little bit of red. It makes a beautiful, rich red orange. You can see me just sort of adjusting the quality of the colour there by adding a fraction more. If it's too close to the colour you previously mixed, you can adjust. So that's our tertiary colours all mixed. And if you'd love to learn more about painting but don't know where to start, then jump on down to the information in the description below around the Paint Your Heart course.